Welcome, dear explorers, to the Island of Knowledge. Today I told you that every person has their own unique smell, like an invisible signature, which mixes with what we eat, where we stay, and how our skin works. You saw why sometimes we can recognize someone even with our eyes closed, and sometimes it is easy to get confused. We also checked why identical twins can be so similar that their smell is especially hard to tell apart. I invited you to discover this surprising fact together. At the Wreck of Knowledge, I met Turtle and Crocodile. Turtle said that a person has a unique smell because everyone walks on different beaches and carries different shells in their pockets, so the smell just sticks to them like sand on wet paws. Crocodile said it was simpler. Those who swim more smell like water. Those who sit by the fire smell like smoke. And identical twins must smell the same because they probably always stand in the same place. Their ideas were funny, but I had to explain that smoke and water can add something. But the basic smell is mainly formed on the skin and depends on many small things at once. At the clearing of questions, I met Gorilla and Rhinoceros. Gorilla said that when two similar shirts washed ashore, he could immediately guess which belonged to which traveler because one smelled more sour after effort and the other more like soap and plants. Rhinoceros said that once he tried to tell apart two people who looked almost identical and had the same things, but the smell was so similar that at first he mixed up their shirts and had to check again, more calmly and closer. I confirmed these were good examples. Everyone has their own smell, but for very similar people, it can be harder to tell apart, especially if they have similar habits. In the Grove of Questions, I met Capuchin and Cockatoo. I asked them what they knew about a person's smell. Capuchin answered that the smell does not come only from sweat, because it is also important what tiny organisms live on the skin and what the person eats. From these parts comes a mix that for most people is unmistakable. Cockatoo added that identical twins can smell very similar because they have similar body features, and if they live similarly, the differences become even smaller. I praised their great knowledge and summarized that smell is like a personal signature, usually unique, and for identical twins especially similar and therefore harder to tell apart. Dear researchers, today we learned that a person has their own smell, which comes from a mix of what happens on the skin, how we live, and what surrounds us. We also understood that identical twins can be so similar that their smell is especially hard to distinguish, especially when they have similar habits. If you want to think about it simply, remember that smell is like an invisible signature, and certainty comes only from calm checking and comparing in more than one try. See you on the next journeys on the Island of Knowledge.